Welcome back to Fags and Designer Tags with Shane and
Tags and design tags and Ronald Gazandy.
yes,
Yes,
we're
you
having a
guys.
little bit of technical difficulties today.
Uh,
We're gonna power on through.
Bear with us.
All right, so we're gonna do something new this week. We're gonna do rapid fire topics of all the tea that
Yeah.
happened this week through the social medias, the Instagram, the page six, just all of it. Okay, we're gonna get right into it right away.
Yes.
Our shared screen
Oh, the biggest tea.
and our PowerPoint. All right, Miss
Let's start
Adele.
with the first one.
Miss Adele.
Yes, this is
She got
definitely the number one topic right now, honey.
real thin. Very, very thin.
It
So
did.
she's about in 2018 in the photo on the left, right?
The
Say?
one on the left is it's 2016.
Oh, it is 2016. Okay, so a while
Mm-hmm.
back. Now, I liked her at this size. I thought this was like a very healthy body shape for her to be at. You know, she's a busty
Mm-hmm.
woman, always been a curvy gal, but this I thought
Mm-hmm.
was like a healthy and happy moment for her. What did you think?
Yeah, I didn't mind. Yeah, I didn't mind that. I like her at any. I just like it though, because the bitch can sing her house, sing the house down. But well, her trainer just recently came forward and said that it wasn't about losing weight. It was more, or it wasn't about like getting skinny. It was about getting healthy.
Mm.
So it was,
What
and I mean, I
what
get
outfit
that.
was
She
that
just
in?
wanted to
I
be
didn't
healthy.
see that.
The article? Well, he
Yeah.
just came forward. There's like a bunch out now, right now, and he's all like, yeah. But he basically just said it wasn't about getting super skinny. It was just about being healthy.
Yeah, because
That's pretty
people
much
have a
all he really said.
lot of feelings. I mean, there were memes galore all over Instagram. Just there was a lot going on with this.
I didn't honestly. I believe him though. Like she probably really her intention wasn't necessarily to get like rail thin or anything. She probably was just like, I just want to get healthy, and then she kept on working
Mhm.
at it, and she just so happened to lose that much weight. I don't think she was necessarily like, I want to become sample size now.
Right, because I mean, she's near sample size. I mean, she's a six.
She's nearing it.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
tall is
she's
she?
definitely a 6. That's a good question. I'm not sure, but
I don't know either.
she's
If she's healthy and happy, I wish her well. You know, it's a personal journey. You know, your body is such a personal journey. But I've seen this happen time and time before with the ballerinas, where if you are going against your natural body shape, that your body starts to react. You start to get very sick, your hair starts to fall out, you're like, your body will rebel. So
how do you know that's her natural body shape, bitch?
that is her. She has never been thin. She wasn't thin as a
That's true.
child. She wasn't thin when she first came out. She wasn't thin last year.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, I don't know. It's always difficult. You know, Nicole Richie said the same thing. You know, when we saw her on The Simple Life, she was very pudgy, you know, from getting out of rehab and eating the fast food. And then she actually went to
Hmm.
probably what her actual
She's
body
kept it
shape
off though.
was.
She's kept her weight off.
Yeah, but I think that was her natural body shape, was that very, you know, thin, petite,
Oh,
you know, slim, Sunni, you know, body shape. But I just don't think Adele's a sturdy gal. And I mean,
she's not sturdy though.
I'm really projecting and taking it more because, like I said, it's something so personal. But you know, she's so beautiful, she's so talented, and I just feel like it sends a message to young girls. It says like, you're never going to be enough. You're never going to be fully appreciated unless you're skinny.
But no, but then it's not sending. That's what everyone's saying now. Like they're all like, oh, she's not representing for the big girls anymore, and it's like it's not about that. It's just like each person needs to be able to feel confident in their own body, and if you've always wanted to have if like let's say she's always wanted to have that frame and now she has it, who's to say that's not what's giving her more confidence than she's ever had before? Like each person's body, you can only have your own amount of confidence. So, and whatever that's going to be, it's going to be up to you. So, for her, maybe she did actually always wanted to be skinny. Maybe she always wanted to be skinny. So it's like it's not us to be like, well, you need to. It's not for us to say you need to stay skinny because you need to stay big because you're representation for all the big girls. It's like those big girls will either have to get new representation, no shade, or like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like I get why people representation is good. Don't get me wrong, but whatever makes her feel good about herself, that's all that's important. So if she feels like she wants to be skinny, that's all that fucking matters. Like if she wants to be skinny, like that's all that fucking matters. But she shouldn't feel like she needs to stay big to. She doesn't want her fans to rebel. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she should do what she wants to do.
Yeah. Like, I was always saddened by Brittany Murphy. Like, when Brittany Murphy first came out on Clueless, she was, like, a little pudgy, and she was just
Mhm.
not, like, the pretty girl, and I
Right,
just she lost all that weight, and she got all real thin, and then she died,
right,
I mean,
right.
she basically they didn't say it, it's not in her autopsy report, but her cause of death was her body was so anemic and so weak that she couldn't
Mhm.
sustain just a regular, run-of-the-mill illness. So, I just
Right,
always wonder
right.
always
I feel like, but I just, it's, yeah, that's true. But I just feel like people are like almost guilting her for like having lost so much weight, and it's actually a really big accomplishment. Like, it's a lot of weight
Well,
to lose. So it's like no one's
fetus
even
at
giving
the
her
end of
tens
the
on it. They're
day,
all,
I think we can both agree. If she's healthy and happy and, this is her
yeah, as
little
long as you're
authentic
happy is the point.
journey, mazel to her. I'm not gonna
I agree.
throw any hate or shade on somebody's own personal journey.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one should have a say. Like, oh my God, why'd she lose weight? Like, she did what she wanted to do, and it's not for anyone to say like whether it's wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's, long as she's feeling confident in her body, that's what's most important.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
let's
we
move
don't know how the fuck she felt. She probably was like, yeah,
That's true.
yes, let's move on. But she
Let's move.
snatched though.
All right. Miss Jessica Simpson and Sally Singer beefing. Also,
Yes.
a lot of talk on women's body in the media today. As
Yeah, it's almost
Sally
our body issue.
Singer, who was the longtime fashion news director of Vogue magazine and most recently the creative director of the website, was accused of body shaming Jessica Simpson in an oral history of the Met Gala. Sally Singer said, Jessica Simpson's breasts are across from me at the dinner table, and they're on a platter, and I'm looking at them, she recalled. And John Mayer was putting his hands on them at the dinner table. He kind of reached down in there, and I just remember thinking, oh, celebrities feel free to play here. That's what's going on. Jessica was not happy about this because she was feeling herself in that Cavalli dress that year. She
But
said,
okay, but here's the gag though. She refuted that comment, but she didn't say anything about John Mayer being nasty. So
oh,
that,
girl, she gets into that in her book. So my friend gave it to my mom. I'm going to read it, and then we might do a little like addendum to this. But
but he did do it, didn't
basically,
he?
they had a toxic sexual relationship, and that's why he called her
Oh,
sexual
okay. Okay, so
napalm.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
So,
saying.
girl,
So
that's
he
a
did do it. So,
whole.
but okay, but here's the thing though. She, okay, yeah, she tried it by like essentially like body shaming her.
Mhm.
But she's also just spilling tea too, because that, like, she's kind of just exposing John Mayer too, and it's nice that she did that too, because like, yeah, there's the body shaming part too, but there's also that she's exposing
Well,
John Mayer.
John Mayer is a disgusting person. So, I mean, but wait,
True.
Jessica kind of goes into it with a rebuttal. She says,
Yeah.
feeling a little like James Mansfield after reading this inaccurate oral history of Met Ball, where I am body shaming Sally Singer, said next to image of James Mansfield and Sophia Loren. In all seriousness, I persevered through shaming my own body and internalizing the world's opinions about it my entire adult life. To read this much anticipated article about the classiest fashion event there is, to have another woman having boobs in 2000. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start again. To read this much anticipated event about the classiest fashion event there is and have to be shamed by another woman for having boobs in 2020 is nauseating. So, but Sally is known for this. She had a big beef with the bloggers about 4 years ago in 2016, where she
Hmm.
criticized them for changing outfits every hour. And I mean, that's how they get paid, is basically being
Right.
a billboard for these brands. And so it
Right.
just kind of goes to the larger context of how Sally Singer feels about herself. I mean, who died and made her the Queen of Persia to be in this judgment? Of everybody, how they make their
But
money,
I mean,
how they
also
present their
too.
bodies. Who said that she was the most perfect person on earth?
Yeah, true. But you also, she's also a fashion, like, she works in fashion. She's a fashion editor, so it's like it is also her job to give her opinion too. So it's like it's wrong, but then at the same time, it's like you can't necessarily be mad at her for giving her opinion on fashion. It's what she does. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I don't really like her personally. I think she's a very good writer.
It's her opinion.
I've had my own personal very rude run-ins with her, as well as my other journalistic colleagues when I was more prominently doing that type of work. So I don't really like the holier than thou attitude, when you can't disrespect how people make money if it's different than the way that you make money. you know, because we're all just
Yeah,
trying.
but I mean, but yeah, true. But I mean, Shane, she's giving her experience. Like she was at, like it's no different than from
But how do
like
we
us.
even know that's true? Oh, well, I guess you're saying that's her experience. That's how she viewed the event. So that I
Yeah,
understand. I just didn't. I just
and
didn't
no,
like.
and she's talking. Well, the John Mayer part isn't a lie. The John Mayer part isn't a lie. Like that's actually true, right? So she, if anything, she
We're
was just kind of
assuming
like
from
spilling
her point
tea.
of view, it is yes.
Where she's at this point, she's just spilling tea. And then as far as the dress, that's just her opinion. She thought she film girl was spilling out. Like,
Oh,
and honestly,
she said her titty spilled out on the
it's
red
not.
carpet.
It's not. Yeah, so it's not even like it's not even coming from like a body shaming standpoint. It's more of just like from a fashion standpoint, like she's giving her fashion critique on it. Really, it didn't necessarily come off like that per se, but
I didn't read it
tech.
that way.
But I think in like in the like at its core, she was trying to give a fashion critique about Jessica's illusion with those boobs. And
Well, I mean, that's
I'm
kind of
not
the
saying boobs are
problem with
wrong or
vogue in
anything. I like boobs.
general. It's just, it's completely devoid of sex. It's completely devoid of sexuality. I mean, it's like AARP for fashion, you know, and not everybody is going to be some white, small breasted,
No,
small boned woman.
no, no. Well, no, but no, but it's also just like because here's the thing. She even said it herself. This event, I don't mind boobs for a good cleavage, but she was almost too. When you're busty like that, you need to be careful so that you aren't veering more towards like Playboy bunny.
Right.
And since the boobs are so big, and and the sleeves, it's like not a much. It's like a thin sleeve too. It's
Not a
like a
lot to
strap.
do
It's like
up. Yeah.
straps. She was giving too. She was almost like overly sexualized, which is fine to be a little bit, but it was just like she was giving pinup. So I see her point where she was saying the boobs are spelling out because the boobs are too much. And mind you, this is the Met Gala. That's classy. So that dress, if we're gonna really unpack the illusion, that dress was quite frankly too sexy for a Met Gala. That's what I say.
Yeah. And I also
So
didn't like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. That
the bottom of the dress. The bottom of the dress did not make a good pedal. It just looked very poorly tailored to her.
yeah,
So I think we could agree there probably was a better choice for her out
yeah,
there.
it's probably and then it kind of came off and attacking her rather than like a fashion critique because it's the same thing that like when the Met Gala comes out and people like do like the reviews and be like they'll give it a letter grade or whatever and they'll essentially read it and no one says anything about that. That's kind of what she was doing, but it just for some reason it ended up sounding like she was reading her. But she ultimately wanted to give her opinion on her and that dress being so busty. And so I'll just say that wasn't the right choice of dress for her. She shouldn't have given that one. But I have a problem with boobs. You know what? If how we can fix this is my thing. I like when we fix shit. So we keep the same dress and we give it sleeves. So now it's classy and you're still showing your boobs
Okay. Okay.
because she's probably she's giving too much skin.
All
So
right.
just pick one. Always try to pick one. You're going to give us cleavage or arms, but let's not do both. So yes.
All right. Let's move on. Kim Kardashian has a major controversy that just happened today over her
Yes.
Mother's Day post. I guess this picture on the right is Kris Kardashian after she had Rob and had already had 4 kids. And
Yes.
so basically,
And what
the
the mom,
celebration
yeah.
was not how great her mother was, how great her soul
Well,
was.
she Kim posted it because she as a Mother's Day post because she bought the camera from the photographer that shot that along with the film
Okay.
and put it all together, and that was her Mother's Day gift. And then she posted that saying that like explaining that Mother's Day gift, and then she came back after and was just like basically like, oh, and by the way, she actually had that pic. She actually took that picture after having Rob body goals. So then people took it as like it's like the people took it kind of as like, oh, she's like just like not even about Mother's Day at this point. She just wants to talk about like, oh, how great the mom looked and not even give it like any accolades to the mom as a mom. And I was just like, well, she gave a sweet gift because that's a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
She literally so yeah. So like she posted that was technically like the sweet moment. Like like, oh my god, you guys, I did this. Like she's not necessarily even like, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know about her like that, but I don't know if she's necessarily the touchiest person. But some people aren't like that. Some people aren't going to do a post where like, oh, da, 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 da. So maybe in her way, she was just like, oh my God, you guys, I got this from my mom. Isn't this a genius gift? She's just like saying, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't give credit to her mom and she doesn't necessarily need to say it. So her following that post up, because it was like a second post, her following that up by saying body goals, it's at that point, she was just like, it's like a kiki, like my mom's body was snatched. It's just a kiki for Mother's Day. Like it doesn't need each Mother's Day post. My point is each Mother's Day post doesn't need to be so serious. Like she's just like, I got my mom this. So it's basically like, I got my mom this for Mother's Day. And ain't it a gag that she was this skinny after having Rod? Like that is fine as a Mother's Day post. Like we shouldn't be judging people's Mother's Day posts. You know what I'm saying? Like people communicate with their mom in different ways.
I don't even know if we've talked about this like off camera ever or off Zoom rather. That I hate the Kardashians. Like I hate all of them. Like I feel that they are the biggest vex on popular culture of the past 10 years than anything else. I don't believe they have anything to contribute that is positive about
Bitch.
art,
Well, yeah,
talent.
no. I'm not gonna say I'm no. I agree.
So
I'm not the biggest
where I'm
fan
going
either.
with this is that this was just another stunt to get them in the press. They're no better than a stunt queen, you know, in the
But
gay
that's the
drag
thing, though. I
community.
don't even think it was a stunt, though. Like she literally, like she was kind of just wanted to be like, you guys, like, isn't this like, if you give a gift that's just a genius gift, you're gonna want to brag a little bit. No shade. So that is a genius gift. She literally fucking hunted down the photographer and the film that he had that shot her so many fucking years ago. So she kind of probably just wanted to brag, like, I gave my mom this genius gift. And then from that, what came that picture. And then she also was just like, oh, side note, isn't it a gag that her body was so snatched after having Rob? So it's like, I
There
don't feel
is
like there's anything wrong with that.
nothing in those people's lives, however many of them, that is not strategized,
Calculated.
calculated, that
But
anything to get them more clicks. It's like even when like the Jordan Woods thing happened, people are like, oh, don't you feel bad for her? Stunt. When she got robbed in Paris for all that jewelry. Stunt. Anything to get their name in the headline
true,
and to keep that money rolling in, they will do. And it doesn't matter how degrading or despicable it is, they will do it.
true. But I just mean like I just don't feel like people should be like shaming her for the post because it's like you each person communicates with their parents differently. Like for her, and you don't know what the fuck she said to the mom in person. It's just like it was a post. She just basically wanted to brag, like, look what I got my mom. Isn't this a genius gift? And wasn't she skinny? Like that's there's no format for what a Mother's Day post should be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was her way of like she posted what she gave her and she didn't need to say anything else. Like, I don't know. There's more now.
I have no
People were
particular
saying that like,
feelings on them
oh, it
besides
wasn't like not about what the mom's
gratitude.
like.
They are the gratitude of
I don't
popular
know. I just don't
culture.
feel like it was that. I don't feel like it was bad.
So I just
I
wish they
know.
would fade away to obscurity and I could keep living my life on the Karsten freeway. That's my only true dream. Okay, let's
No,
move
it's
on to something that we both really
yes,
love. We are both very into Naomi Campbell on the cover of Essence, self-shot
yes,
in a vintage Karl
yes,
Lagerfeld for Chloe dress, looking incredible. Now, when they
yes.
say self-shot, like, was this on a timer or was it like somebody
I'd imagine it's a timer. No,
timer?
nobody shot it because she shot it herself on a phone. That's what she shot it on her iPhone, and she styled herself. I guess at home, she did
Right.
everything herself.
Well,
But
Naomi
I'd
has
imagine it was a timer
impeccable
because
self
they.
style. I mean, you know, they didn't have like stylists back in the 90s in her supermodel heyday when like her and Christy and Linda were running around and, you know, all those great Roxanne Lowitt photos of them. They looked fabulous, even better than when the stylist is involved. So, I mean, Naomi just has that innate sense of style that models learn from being on
Yeah,
set and dressing themselves. And there is nobody, I mean, more legendary, iconic, amazing than Naomi
Yeah,
did.
for sure.
So I actually just watched
Yeah,
her
it's
review
amazing.
she did on Vogue.com of all of her Met looks, and just to hear her description of all the things like Alaya made for her and all the different designers. And she really knows the fabrics and the cuts and the way that things are made. And, she's very of that, Linda Evangelista, her old school modeling, before, digital was really preeminent and they really had to get the lighting and the makeup right. And they only had but film to work with, so they really had to know what they were doing. And, I just love her. I think it's incredible. I think, I think all
Yeah,
these self covers are going to start, coming out for the September issues, the
yeah,
October
they're gonna have to
issues.
do that.
I mean, I think this is probably one of the best ones.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. You froze
I'm
for
sure
a
they edited
long
it to make
time
when
there,
she
boo
took it.
boo.
It did.
Yeah.
I know, but editing will whip a picture into shape. So I'm sure they the way they edited it made it look like
Yeah,
it
I'm
was shot
sure
in
they
an
had to
iPhone
add a little bit of
because that
color,
doesn't look like it was shot on an
There was
iPhone. But
definitely
that's
some
because
Photoshop magic, but
yeah, like
they did
there was
not
some
have to hire
retouching.
Mariah's retoucher.
But like I don't know, like that's a good cover. And but you can tell she knows a lot about fashion too when you hear her judging on making the cut. So it's I'm not surprised she was able to pull that
Right.
off.
And like you said, it can be a little come off a little bit bitchy, a little bit shady, but she really knows what she's talking about. She really has the other
Yeah,
person's best interest at heart.
exactly,
You know, she's
exactly.
she's not a stunt queen, so she's very authentic. So
Oh yeah, she's been around, honey,
oh yes, and yeah, you don't stay around for decades like that unless you're an authentic person. So and everybody stood
for
by
sure,
her, through all of her troubles. Anna Wintour, all the designers, all the photographers. So much love to my Naomi always.
for sure. Yes,
All right. So
she was saying.
what is our thesis on this week of women's self-image?
Yes, it was the week of body, honey.
It
It was
really
body
was a week of
shaming,
body.
body
So
law, weight loss. It was just body.
So all I have to say, if everybody's healthy and happy with how they're living their
That's all that
lives,
matters,
mazel to you. Doesn't have anything to do with me. So, we
but
can discuss.
but can we just clock though on the side note now that Adele got like skinny, because if you look, I used to always like when you clock her on a red carpet, she always used to give me Mother of the Bride with her stance and her illusions. No shade.
Like, are we talking like within the past 5 years or when she first started?
Up until now, no shade, bitch. Because the dresses that they would put on her, they were always trying to like cover up her body or
But
whatever, or
here's
they
the
thought they needed
thing.
to cover up the. Mhm.
This is what I've always said. This is what I've always talked about with my mother and various people. That, like, if you are, a lady that is not a sample size like Melissa McCarthy or somebody like that, it's always kind of like when they, show up on the red carpet. But Adele always looks beautiful, always looks appropriate, always looks correct.
But bear in mind, especially a couple years ago too, when she was still in her 20s, because now she's like in her 30s, right?
Yeah. Mm,
I want to say
I think so.
she's in her 30s.
I think so.
So when she was in her 20s, the way they used to dress her used to make her look so much older. And that's why I say Mother of the Bride, because they were so focused on trying to like cover up the arm, trying to make her skinnier with all these things. And the
But you
dresses that
would
they
have
would
clocked
pick
her
was
had
always
that
really
arm been
dated and
out.
old.
You would have clocked
Huh?
her the same
I
way you
wouldn't have
clocked
minded
Jessica
if her
Simpson
arm
if
was
that arm
out.
had been out and those titties had been out.
I clocked Jessica Simpson because her arm was out, both the arm and the boobs. If you pick one, I don't mind. But for her, I don't. Even the picture we used earlier of the
Mhm.
Adele with the red dress, tell me that's not a dress a mom would wear to a wedding.
Okay,
That is an old
we're
lady
gonna go
dress.
backwards.
Go back to that. We got to go back, you guys.
But
That is an old lady dress. No one
she looks
in their 20s or 30s is wearing
beautiful.
that. She
Oh,
looks
I love
beautiful,
the
yes, but that's
sleeve,
something
and then she's got the cleavage. Look, she's got the cleavage and the sleeve, just like you wanted.
I do, but it could be. But see, here's the thing:
She's even covered in her
we
new
shouldn't
self
lose the.
picture.
Oh, that's good. That's exactly what I mean. She's serving legs there. You need to pick one thing. And here she chose the old lady one. She chose to pick boobs. But the thing is, the cut of the dress, you should still have some level of youthfulness, especially when you're so young. That dress is an old lady dress, like things that are like floppy like that. So she could have kept that same cut and the sleeves were just more tapered or something, but that just looks like something old. Like it's now that she's so she and then what it did too is it even kind of made her stance. If you clocked it, all the past red carpets. This isn't 2016, no less. The one on the
Yeah.
left.
I mean, when
All
you
her
were
her
not,
posture was always kind of just like old. Like that's like a mom, huh?
unless
Wait,
you
say
were
again.
like a Kate Bosworth, like, or like a Gwyneth
Hmm.
Paltrow, like a clothes hanger, just like a
Hmm.
hanger that anything's going to look good on. You have to design around the body, and that's what they did here. They designed
Yeah, but
around the
there's
body, and I think she looks beautiful.
no. That's an old lady. Shane, you know someone's. Wouldn't your mom wear that?
It's correct. That's what I'm saying.
at your
Because
little
if
at
she came
your
out
little
like
gay wedding?
Lizzo or
Wouldn't you
like,
wear that?
with like one boob
I'm
out,
not saying, but
we
no,
would
but
be
that's the
clocking
thing.
her.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go thotty like Lizzo tends to do, but I'm saying there's a way to be sexy still as a plus size woman and not look mom. Like those dresses, she always tend to look mom, and yeah, and you would able to, and you she would just always kind of look like stiff, and you could kind of tell like she just wasn't feeling it because they never like it's more so a problem with the stylist. Like I feel like whoever her stylist was, what stylist is or was, never dressed her with sex appeal. They were always so
Yeah.
focused on making
I
her look
don't I
smaller that
don't
they
know who
forgot about the
styles
sex
her.
appeal.
It's very behind the scenes. Nobody's taking credit for that.
I
So
know, but yeah, but even just like her stance, I always noticed that she always had kind of just like a very like poised, kind of like motherly stance. Even the one with the arm, it's still kind of like mom pose, kind of. I don't know, and it's just never like she never felt confident really necessarily to give you like a sexy kind of like pose. But now I'm saying my point was now we have homegirl there, and she's really feeling herself, and she's all like, I was just like, oh, okay, see that's new. So now she's feeling herself, honey. So again, and that's confidence. I feel like the confidence is
I
showing
love
right down to her body.
size
I like her
6,
regardless.
size
I like her
12, size
regardless.
18. I love Adele.
I like her regardless too, but you can definitely clock that she has more confidence now, and it's so apparent. No shade, because she would have never have posed like that before.
All
I
right.
don't feel like she would have.
So thesis, if these ladies are happy, we support them. If people saying nasty things,
But yes,
who
that's
do
all that
you?
matters. Yes, that is all that matters, as long as they're healthy and
All right,
happy.
let's wrap it up since we said we were going to be rapid fire today.
Yes,
So,
you guys.
all right, but
But yeah,
we're gonna get to you with RuPaul Celebrity Drag Race
yes,
race
yes.
coming
Bye,
up. All
guys.
right, bye.